Had a fun one today. This new construction here on this off-ramp interchange dealy thing going on. You see how much higher the existing road is compared to the sidewalks and all this stuff here. So that's all got to come down. I guess we're going to go down about 1.5 feet. And see, all this over here is really high. So we're going to have the grade checker put down some numbers on the ground. We're going to hit the grades, take it all down with the machine so they can rebase it, put it all back and make all this work. So it should be a fun day. I'm going to try to document as much as I can of it, and I hope you enjoy it. If you like my videos, please subscribe. It really helps, and try to watch them all the way through. It really helps the YouTube algorithm so I can get this out to more people that are interested in this kind of thing. So we'll turn the camera back on when we actually get started here, but I wanted you to see kind of what it looked like before I'm in there making a mess out of it. There's transition here. Over there is no grind, it's all fill. They're going to make it higher. Transitions here is where the zero is, and this is all cut at 2/10, which is 2.5 inches. Over there's a fill of 80. It's a big fill. And transitions down deeper over here. See right here we got a cut of 165. That's a little over 1.5 feet. And we look up over here, we got a cut of 175, cut of 150. These are all 1/10 of a foot, so it's a little different. And out here we got cut of 1.4, cut of 135, and over there on the new asphalt it zeroes out. So it's going to be fun following these numbers. They're going to get all this K-rail out of the way. And you can see how much higher it is than the existing or the new curb and gutter. Better angle of it over here. So we're going to take that asphalt and take the rock out. And then all the way up over here. And all down up there. Down our first foot right now, and then they're going to come put numbers on the ground for how much deeper I've got to go after that. We'll come back in the hole and go down deeper. So you see I'm at 11.8 on one side, 12.5 on the right side. Doesn't take long to fill up the truck. Taking it slow and easy. Don't have a whole lot to do, so there's no need to rush it. A lot of dirt in it. Don't want to clog my drum up with too much dirt. Want to stop and let your belt run out. You don't want to turn off the belt with a heavy load on it. You can shear the pin off the drive motor. Plus it's really hard on the hydraulic hoses. You might be able to see those numbers up there. Those numbers represent what I'm going to cut on my left side. I'm going to match the grade of the rock and then cut that number on the left side of the machine. That way I don't have to walk back and forth. soon as I drop off this ledge over here, I'm going to match the rock. So my cut will be flush to the rock and catching the numbers on the left side. Almost ran. Hey, stop. It's always one guy. Runs out from under the belt. Now I had to turn it on loaded. Doesn't like it. I can't have a big pile in front of me going this deep. Now I gotta get somebody to scrape that pile up for me. Hard to see it, but they painted the numbers over here on the dirt for me. Basically gotta go down another 3 inches from this grade here. So I got the first foot out. I'm gonna take a foot, 1 foot deep all the way out to the pink line. And then come back down inside and we're gonna take another 3 inches. And then it kinda, as you go down here, it kinda tapers out and it gets shallower. What they're doing is they're taking this road, the road leans like this right now, they're going to take the road and lean it this way. So it's going to be shallower over there and deeper over here. So when they pave the road back, instead of it being like this, like it is now, it's going to be like this. Actually kind of flatter and sloping down over here. And it's all to make a new roundabout down there at the bottom of the hill. So our tax dollars at work. I gotta drop off this edge. Try to match the grade of that rock. Dialing left side up to 6 inches. 5 inches there, 2.5 inches, and then 0 on the left side. Easy peasy. Since I only got an hour and a half of sleep last night, I'm glad it's going to be an easy day. And I can go get some rest in the hotel. Had an 11.5-hour day yesterday, and then the travel out here from home, it was about close to a 4-hour drive. Check in now again when the next truck comes back. Now you can see that I cut flush to that rock. Followed their grades out. Now I come back for a second pass. I got a whole lot of people back there watching me. Hate having a big audience. I have my mark there where my 1 foot cut stops and I start tapering out. I go from a foot to 2.5 inches in a very, very short period of time here. Start up at a foot right there, then 2.5, 2.5, and then 0. So you can see the 1 foot section. And asphalt to here, and the base rock the rest of the way. Some kind of weird native sand over here. You can kind of see the profile now, what the new road's going to look like, how it shallows up down there. It's deep, comes up all the way to 2.5 inches, and then zeroes out. Tomorrow we do the other side of the road. And there it goes around with that stick, and it's hooked to GPS. You can put that anywhere you want, and it'll tell us how deep we gotta grind, or if it's a fill. So anywhere out here, there's a 3D model that's put in the computer, and he can tell me at any place I want basically how deep to go. This is our last section right here. I've reshaped it the way they needed to. They got their edge over here, they're going to pave too, and then tomorrow we're going to dig that side over there. That way it reshapes this crown. So almost done for the day. This is they filled up what I ground out yesterday. You kind of start seeing how it matches the other road. The angles kind of don't make sense, but you can kind of see what I got to grind out today. They're picking this side of the road up, dropping it down actually, and this side of the road is coming up. So all this section of road right here is actually no grind. They're going to add a bunch of asphalt to it to raise it up, and it's going to tip back this way. So the road's kind of doing a twist for the new design. And you can see how they leveled off this yesterday, cut off the edge. You can see I get down here, tell how it's high, what I got to cut today. So I'm going to cut all that down, and they're going to plug it with new asphalt like this, and then it's going to come back and have 3 inches put on top of all of it. Same thing down there below. This new asphalt is a little bit low and the old road is high, so I'm going to cut it down to match this new design. Be chasing the numbers they put on the ground, so they're going to lay that out for me. And this over here, this white line, it's dotted through here, is actually going to be the edge of the new road. So the new road's going to be all over here on this side. This over here, I'm just going to demo out for them. This is going to be the new shoulder. So we're using the grinder as kind of a motor grader again, and kind of as a blade also to cut the precise steps they need so they can pave it back. The minimal amount of asphalt. So we're about to get started. Alright, so I got my numbers on the ground to follow. I'm going to be matching what's on the right side, and the numbers they put on the ground for me there are for what I'm going to cut on my left side. Basically taking this hump that we left yesterday and deleting it. So So right there you got a hump. I'm going to take that hump out. See, all the numbers represent what I got to cut. So I got 0 on the right, 2.5 to 4, back out to 0 again. It's going to take this hump off the road right here. Starting off 0, 0. When I hit the ground rolling forwards, you'll leave a divot. Now 0, 0 again. I'm just creeping forward until it stops cutting. Then I know I'm off the high spot. Right there, just stop cutting. Truck is full. Now, checking. See if I'm just going to cut 0 and 0 on this one. 0 and 0. So one more pass to flatten the rest of that hump out. One little spot where we broke through. Love to see all those zeros on the ground. It means I hit the grade I was supposed to. Need another truck. Little cut of a 10. 1 inch. Not a 10. Means on my left side I got a tiny bit of cut still to get rid of all that hump. Again, hit the ground rolling. Leaving it alone, 0, 0, let it do its thing. Just kind of swing in here and try to get some of this down.
Yeah, you can. I would.
Okay. I might get rid of some of that lip, but I mean, that doesn't matter to you.
You might have to swing in here and zero, if you can zero off that
The little high spot right there.
Whatever you can get.
Just come in like this, go around that, and then come back in here, 0, 0, just kind of flatten it out.
Yeah, please.
Okay. The dyke and that dig out? Okay. One more little pass just to polish it up a little bit. Always checking my backup camera. I want to back it up, make sure I'm not going to run somebody over. Between the back tracks. This is the back of the machine, obviously. This is my rear view mirror on the right side for the most part. This is just cosmetic, just to kind of make the edge go away. It doesn't really need to be cut. Just make it look pretty. Barely cutting anything, so I'm just dragging it with me. Just fit it in the truck at the end. Mach 2 in the truck, and now we're going to go back, do a little dig out where gotta do a dig out where the roadway is going away, where it's going to be new shoulder. That's what they're marking out for me right now. I'm going to turn the machine around. Around so we can grind that. I gotta get close to the shoulder. Cameras. Rearview mirror out the other side, and the back end between the back tracks. I always use my coordinated steering when I'm turning around like that. It's just so much easier. Now you can see that last pass I made just kind of polished off that little bit of a bump that was left. Nice weather out here at Pismo Beach. Right between Pismo Beach and San Luis Obispo, coastline. Nice weather. So they got this AC dyke right here they want me to remove, and then I'm going to remove the asphalt from the white line over, get rid of all that. So I use the rabbit foot to get rid of the dyke. Let's stick the rabbit on the rabbit foot, since people have been asking about that. So let me get lined up here. Not gonna like digging all that rock out, but we'll see how it goes. Okay, so I can't use my right side plate because it's going to be up on the hill and it's going to sink in the dirt. So I got to use my rabbit foot sensor, which is that guy right there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to lower the machine closer to the ground. And I'm going to push this button right here. It's going to lower my rabbit foot. So push that, rabbit foot goes down. Now my rabbit foot is showing right here negative 3.7 inches because it's up in the air. You can see it's not even touching the ground yet. So I'm going to push this to make that active. Got to hold it. Now this is my rabbit foot sensor. Reading right there, negative 3.7. I'm going to make that 0. Hold this. Now that's going to cut 0 and 0. The side plate is down here. It's not going to use the side plate at all. So this is going to set down 0 and 0. Turn off the water to the left side because it's not going to be cutting anything. Now the plate says I'm digging 4 inches. Rabbit foot says I'm cutting 0. Because the side plate is sitting up here on the hillside, but that rabbit foot is sitting on the ground. So that's what I'm reading off of now. Pick the front door up slightly so it doesn't catch and dig on the shoulder. I brought the front door up just so it'll skim over the top of that dyke. Sensors, rabbit foot sensors dragging along there, and that's what I'm reading for grade now off the existing road. 0. The side plate's cutting 5 inches, it says. It doesn't matter because it's up on the hillside. See, I'm just scratching all the way across. In fact, I can bring this side up a couple of clicks so it doesn't even scratch. Rabbit foot up just a tiny bit. There, now it's not even cutting anything except for the dyke over here. Make sure my front door isn't dragging on it. Nope. Rabbit foot basically runs in line with the front track, so as long as the front track is clear, I don't have to worry about the rabbit foot hitting something. I mean, you can see I'm just scraping it, taking the AC dyke off. around the tree because I don't want to scratch up the side of the machine. Try to be fancy and do it all at once. Slide around the tree. Slowly, carefully. Pick my side plate up so it doesn't catch. Now we're taking out the AC dyke again. Now I didn't have to pick up and reset. I'm not leaving a pile behind me. Double check how far the dyke comes out, make sure I don't overcut it. Quick question to make sure I don't cut too much. Make eye contact with this guy before I walk behind him. Hey, how far up does that AC dyke come out?
It peters off like right here.
Hopefully I didn't take out too much more for you. Right there. Okay. Cool. Good thing I asked. I was going to take it all out. Okay. Now we're going to go back and do a little dig out section. So I pick the machine up, the rabbit foot automatically retracts itself up. Now I'm going to switch back over to my side plate. It says out because it's out of range because it's raised up. But it's still selected rabbit foot. So I'll put it back to my side plate, and then we're gonna do a dig out. Now using the rabbit foot, just barely scratched, took that AC dyke right off. That's what you want, perfectly flush. So having that sensor really does help out. Works good. So now they're putting in their, generally when a number is in a circle, it means it's a fill. So this is how much they have to put in for their paving on top of this. But you can see down there where I smoothed that off, it's all nice and flat, and matches. There's no longer a big hump there. And same up there. So now they can come in and put their final 6 inches of asphalt on top, and it'll be all done. Looks like it'll be off early today. I hope. So we're waiting to find out this area that's going to be the new shoulder, if we're just going to pulverize the asphalt in place or if we're going to remove it completely. So we're waiting to see here what they want to do. They dotted the line. So this dotted line here is going to be the new edge of the roadway. So this out here is just going to be shoulder. They're either going to fill it in with dirt on the hillside or pave it and make it a parking area or something, who knows. And down here where those cars are coming around the corner, that's going to be a roundabout. So we'll be back here again. They're going to have more grinding to do. You got some of the existing roadway, it's still really high. It's going to have to come out at some point. This is their little grinder, little Caterpillar 4-footer. I don't know what they're going to do with it, but they got it out here. You can really see the Batelli design in it, since Caterpillar bought Batelli years ago. Doesn't look like a cat grinder. Even uses a lot of the same parts as the Wirtgen. Crazy. So they'll fill it up, flush that curb another 6-7 inches. And this area here that I ground down is going to get covered up. So we're just waiting on a decision, and then we'll be out of here. We wanted to leave it in place, so we're going to lift the back door up and grind it, pulverize it in place. Scoot in here wherever I can fit, lift the back door up, pulverize it in place. Can't do much more than that and leave it in place. The material just can't get out the back door. So back door up, lock it. base we see. I just rototilled the asphalt, left it in place. Makes really good base material.